Artlist.io.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scrappy Chats with Crafty Meggy and Hannah. Welcome to episode number 2. How are you, Megan?
Great. How are you doing?
Oh, I did a lot of resting today because my
Did
body,
you?
I've been working really hard this week.
Yes, you have been.
Yeah, I've been working really hard. At the end, maybe we'll talk just a smidge about some of the plans. We'll see if we have time. Today we're
Okay.
just going to be doing a mini episode, so this is just going to be really short. We're going to be about 35 or so minutes. So buckle up, get a drink. I have a cider. You can't see. I have a cider
Ooh,
today. I thought about
yum.
wine, but I'm like it's kind of early for wine. So I'm going to do a plan live today. So I thought I'd do a plan live because apparently, even though Hannah said I hate planning, guess who's going to have to plan now?
You.
But that's okay because that's how we do it. We roll with the punches. We say, okay,
Right.
even if we don't like anything, we're an adult and it's okay. So,
Yep.
so I'm super excited because today we
Yay.
published our first episode. So for everyone who's listening, we had the first episode go up today.
Yep.
Um, so, okay, let's get right to it. So, today we're going to be talking about our reason why and kind of like that journey. So, we only
Yeah.
have a few like mini questions or questions that I planned out because we don't have as much time today. So, and I
Mhm.
really thought it would be fun to share some stuff. So, I know my husband was saying, "Hey, you guys are doing this face to face on, why not use that to your advantage?" So at some point, maybe we'll do some crafting while we do this. I mean, we used to do,
Yeah.
remember when we used to just FaceTime and I would do Project Life and you would do whatever and we just chit
Yep.
chat. So maybe that's something we can do in the future for some of the episodes, especially if everybody's kind of cool with that. I mean, who knows? That would be kind of fun. It would be a way for us to get some crafty time in so we're not just chatting, even though I don't mind just chatting, but then people can see what we're doing, and that would be super fun to have people
Yeah, definitely.
while they're watching and create something. So I think that that was a great idea. I love my husband. He's an ideas man. He's a fix-it man. So if he can fix it, I say that though my sink upstairs is dripping, and that has not gotten fixed.
Sometimes he can
Right?
fix some things.
No, he can fix it. He can fix it. That's what he does for a living. He can fix it. He just
He just doesn't want to.
It's different when you get paid to do it than when you don't get paid. And like, I
Right.
mean, honestly, on our days off, I'm sure it's like this for you guys. On our days off,
Hmm.
we just want to relax. So anyway,
Yeah.
who wants to do fun
Okay.
stuff? Okay, so I want you to share your first, if you have it able to share. If not, I'll try to add it in somewhere in this. Your first layout that either you remember sharing or something like that. So I asked you ahead of time to kind of
Yeah, you did.
I know you sent me a picture. I don't know if the pictures will show up at all.
Oh,
Let me see if I can find it
okay.
because I think you
Um,
sent.
well, I was looking on Instagram and because I think I created my Instagram Crafty Meggy in 2013.
Okay.
And I think that was the year before I got on YouTube because I think 2014, I think I started in like March or April. And so I was looking through my Instagram, and the first pictures on my Instagram were just like pictures of the kids and stuff. And I was like, oh, like I didn't realize that I had even posted pictures of the kids at first. Like I thought I was doing scrapbooking the whole time. And so that was kind of fun to go back
Oh,
and
I
look at
bet,
that.
right?
And like my kids were little in 2013. Like I think Jonas was, gosh, almost 10 because he was born in 2004. So he was 9. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they were so little. And
Right.
Jonas was little, like when he was a kid, like he was little for his age. And so, but
Well, maybe not Rachel, but so
he was
she
a
was
little bit bigger for
bigger, but
her age.
I
Yeah.
Opinion was definitely on
Oh yeah,
the side.
definitely was short. And now he is not short. He is, I think he's an inch taller than me now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my 14-year-old baby. But yeah, I was looking at my Instagram and the layout, the first layout that I posted was super simple. And it was like, whoa, that is so not my style. Like, even
Yeah.
now, like, I am a traditional scrapbooker, but I still add a lot of things to my
Yeah.
layouts compared, especially compared to the last time.
Was trying to find it. I can't find it. So I'm sorry, everybody. I'm down here. That is what I'm doing. I am trying to find this stinking
It
photo.
was on Voxer.
Was it on Voxer? Why is it?
Yeah, I think
Um,
I thought it was on Voxer. I don't know. Maybe I didn't send it on Voxer, but it was very simple. And I think there was like two little photos on it or something. It must have been for like a little album
okay. I
because it
can't.
was a
There
small
it is.
layout.
There it is. Okay, so
Oh, did
let's
you find it?
uh,
Yeah.
let's
So
see.
Jonas is on the right,
There
and
we
then
go.
Rachel is on the left.
Whoops. That did not help. I was hoping that maybe I could get it to focus, but I don't think it's going to focus very well.
Yeah,
So I'll make
that's
sure
okay.
and we'll post it in the group. So if
Yeah, that's a good idea.
part of the Crafty Maven Getaway Facebook group, definitely join in there because we will be sharing a lot more. I know it's kind of been a little bit slower, though. There's a couple of people who've been posting really awesome, like Rebecca Lockhart. I think that's her
Oh,
name.
I know. Yeah,
She's
she
been
posts a lot.
posting like a lot. So I need to message her and just be like, dude, thank you. I want to say dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I know. I love how it you're like there's elements that I see your style still in there, but
Hmm.
it's so crazy how simple it was. You just doop. And was that so I was around a couple of years after that probably. 2014 I think is when I started.
Yeah.
So when I started, it was starting to get changed. The industry
Hmm.
or the how designers were doing was starting to change because the
Oh
collections
yeah,
changed.
definitely.
The older collections, and it was st going from that themed idea to non-themed,
Hmm.
a lot less themey. So I know that I'm gonna show you. So I have a
Oh,
picture.
did you pull out some layouts?
So I went on my Instagram and found the first layout that I posted on Instagram,
Oh,
which is
fun.
not the first one that I posted on my YouTube channel. I think I started it after I did YouTube. I didn't look on YouTube, so
Oh,
this like
okay.
kind of phased me. But I do have an album out that was the first album. So this I think I just did a flip through on my channel at some point. So the first Instagram is this one. And this I know was a Scraptastic
Mm.
kit
Yeah.
because that's mostly what I was using back then was Scraptastic. There might have
Uh-huh.
been some other stuff. So even then, but I mean, you still see, like, I still have texture in there.
Yeah.
So you can see where I was starting to find my style. What actually really helped me find my style is I took a Chamel class like really early on when I started doing YouTube and started getting into things.
Hmm.
Chamel did a like class. She had a kit that was a part of it, I think, or I bought the kit that she used. Maybe not. I could be wrong. But I bought Maggie Holmes, so it was like one of the original it was probably either the first or second collection that she did. And I was able to get the whole thing on like PT Cheap or something like that because that's where I bought stuff because I didn't know where
Yeah.
I didn't even think about going to scrapbook.com, though I did get stuff. I did use scrapbook.com because that's what I used for a lot of my ideas because I originally started scrapbooking to do an album for Lonnie and because she had her Make-A-Wish trip and I really wanted to document that. And so I was like, okay, that's so originally my reason was, well, I'm just going to scrapbook to document to make an album. And I had no idea what I was doing. I started watching Mercy Tierra, which is how I found Scraptastic. And she was like, for a while, that was all I watched. And she did, she was doing layouts, she was doing Project Life. But
Hmm.
like when I was looking for stuff because I had no idea what the heck to do, so I needed to find and scrap lift basically. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't know that's what it was called. So one of the first layouts that I did, and I'm not sure which one is the first one that I did, so I'm just going to share one of my favorite ones. So this is the first page. Oh gosh.
Oh,
So well, if I can get it so you guys don't get too much of the glare, but I'll take pictures of it too. Or I have
yeah.
um so this is
So
at the little
cute.
layout page. So as you can see, and I added like ribbon, twine, and beads. These are just like regular beads. So
Wow.
I'm assuming I followed somebody's like design. I had no
Hmm.
idea whose it was, so I can't even give them credit. But hey, if you guys ever want to look on scrapbook.com, there's albums there. So it's a super like when you're starting, it's a super great tool to use because you can go there, see what people are creating. Back then, and this was 2014. So I did this
Wow.
say I got my first kit in May of 2014. And I did my YouTube channel, I started in August. So there we go. There's your time frame. But so here's
Yeah.
the second page. So I did the same thing, but I flipped it.
That's so fun. And you used to do, before you started YouTube, didn't you used to do a lot of two-page
I
layouts,
did.
didn't
This
you?
whole album pretty much is 2 pages.
Yeah, which is so crazy because that's like the opposite of your style.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
don't do two
fun.
pages very often now. Like I
Mm-mm.
have to do them intentionally. I have to think about it. And
Yeah.
honestly, like my I didn't know anything, so my whole reason why and my whole style changed because I was learning and I was finding out and I just one thing that helped is I didn't let things stop me. I just did it. So if I didn't have whatever, like towards the
Product.
I was using the gels, the Wilton's gels, food coloring gels,
Yes.
mixing water with it to make watercolor because of course I couldn't go to the store to the PX and buy watercolor.
That's so
I don't know.
funny.
I just wanted those bright colors. So I was like, what do I have in my kitchen? So I pulled that stuff out and I just
Oh my
put it on
gosh.
the page and I played around. I remember I have quite a few layouts where I did stuff with that too.
I remember that too. I
And I
totally
would
forgot
like
you used to
sharing
do
it,
that.
and like this is the thing to do. This is what you do. Like I had no idea. So it's like it's fun because I just didn't let that stop me. And honestly, I've
Right.
kept that on purpose. You can't let product stop you. Like if you want to do something, you find a way. Like what do you have in your reach? Now, obviously, there are certain things that you do
Hmm.
eventually have to save up or whatever, or figure out a way how to do that. But
Hmm.
it really helped my mindset of like I'm learning and I've kept that. And I at the beginning I did take a lot of classes. I took a Wilma Versenberg. Oh gosh. I'm not saying
Furstenberg?
yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
even like the whole thing, right? She had a mixed media class and it was on color theory. It was through Studio Calco and I remember paying for it and going, "Man, this is insane." But I learned a lot just even with
Hmm.
like some different techniques and some different things. And of course, it's her style. So like after I implemented her style, I learned like how can I do it for me? And that's really just how my reasons why evolved. I mean, I started off by doing
Yeah.
that, but I really enjoyed it. So it really just became how can I learn and how can I have fun? And so I've just kept that throughout this whole thing and I still to this day, it's like, what do I want to do that's fun? Um, how can I learn new things? So I do it's like I probably don't try as many new things as I used to because I kind of have
Hmm.
more of that style, but I'm not opposed to just doing something that's not my style. So, okay, we have trying to keep track of time here. Okay. So how has things changed from now till then
Well, for
for you
me, my
and your reason why?
divorce,
Yeah.
yeah. So my divorce was a huge thing that changed everything in my life, not just scrapbooking,
Hmm.
um, just yeah, like when you get started in something that's big and you have like this idea of what the future is going to look like, and then that idea changes, like completely does a 360, you know? So, like when I first started scrapbooking as, you know, a mom, like, oh, I'm making our memories, you know, putting them down on paper, and I'm doing this for my kids and for future generations. And then, like, now I hardly see my kids at all because they don't live with me. And my house is smaller now, so I don't really put my albums out. You know, I don't have space to do that anymore. But it's like, I am still going to do this, and I'm totally going to do it for me because I love doing this. And it's so crazy. I don't even know when that changed, or like, I can't give you like a pinpoint where, oh, I scrapbook for myself now, you know, but it's just like, especially over the last year or 2 years, like, I don't know, I just do it for myself. I do it to get my own space. I do it to get like time for myself. And it's a way that like my brain can function, because I've noticed the less that I've done it over the last 2 years, the more stressed I get. And so it's a way that I can, I don't want to say survive because that's not the right word, but kind of like
Oh, maybe.
fun- yeah, cope is a good word. Function, just enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, really, I have learned to enjoy my space and my time, and I don't get it on a daily basis anymore. Like, I used to have a scrapbooking room, and now it's like a scrapbooking desk is what I have now.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not saying like I'm, you know, upset about it or anything. It's just changed, you know, and like I've changed, my reason why has changed, and I'm definitely doing this for myself now. And I want to work towards where I have a space for me. And my partner is an artist, and she loves to, she's very artsy as well. And so we've kind of talked about doing like the she shed thing,
Yeah.
and then
That's
having
fun.
a space together, which is crazy because my ex didn't care anything about my scrapbooking, you know, like, I mean, sure, he was, I guess, supportive, you know, but
Yeah,
like,
that's how my ex was too. He was
yeah,
actually he pushed me into doing scrapbooking,
he did.
but
He was a lot more supportive.
he did it because he had his own hobbies, and I think he felt
Yes.
guilty that I didn't have a hobby. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, it is what it is, and I can't be too mad because I found something that I
You
absolutely,
found, yeah.
and it's changed my life in so many
Hmm.
ways. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's just exciting to think like she actually wants to spend that time with me, and like she wants to see what I do and what I
Yeah.
create, and like she loves, like she'll sit and watch my scrapbooking videos and I'm like, who, what? Like,
That's
you know,
how Jason is too. And
yeah,
he was
like
like
it's just
posting that,
crazy.
he was like commenting, like this guy doesn't, he didn't have an Instagram. Okay, he has an Instagram, but he doesn't use Instagram to use,
Yeah.
right? And so like this man has gotten on, he's watched my stuff, and
Oh,
he's like commented and stuff. And I'm
that's
like,
sweet.
and that's what real support is. Like that's like
Yeah.
as much as like you're saying, as much as our exes maybe supported us because they knew it was something that we enjoyed, and maybe they, I'm sure your ex was like that too, where,
Yeah.
he knew that, oh, well, you're doing your own thing and now I can do my own thing. I don't have to feel bad
Hmm.
about gaming or whatever, because that's what my ex did. I'm sure that's what your ex did a lot
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
And so it's just a whole different game when the support is different, and
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when you can share it together and it would be really fun to do something with Jason. I know he's not an artist, like he can appreciate it and
Yeah.
stuff. But even if I just talk about it, he'll sit there and listen. He has no idea what I'm talking about. And I was like trying to explain something to him the other day, and he was like, "What?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" Because I'm using words that he's never heard before.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I forget that he doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of funny. Anyway, okay. So, um, I'm gonna go to this next one of the last questions that I had here. And I definitely
Okay.
want everybody to make sure that they are putting in. So in the info box, I'm putting all the questions that we talk about so that people can
Okay.
answer them because that's my hope is that we can have these conversations. Maybe I'll post them over in the group too so that we can have these conversations and get people going and talking about it. But my one of my questions is how does scrapbooking or like art journaling doing crafty things help you understand your own journey and defining your reason why? I know you're kind of talking about that, so that's kind of why I
Hmm.
wanted to transition into this as we are trying to make sure we're staying
Stay
on
with
task
it.
here. It's really hard for us to stay on task, so I hope everybody understands.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay. It's good for us, right? It's good to do that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do you want to tell your, like, answer
Oh,
that question?
yeah. Okay. So for me, and I will say, especially since I took such a long break because I needed to take a break when I got divorced, when I was going through the hard stuff. I was working a lot on myself and I got so burnt out by doing everything. And I know I talked a little bit about this on my own personal channel, and I've talked to you about this. I think I was using scrapbooking as a way to escape. So my reason why had changed because it was a place that I could be me authentically all the time. And so I just wanted to spend time there because I knew I didn't have to be a certain way. I could just be me and on a page and have fun and interact with everybody who knew that as me. And so I got so burnt out because that's all I wanted to do because life was so difficult. um, it's like I don't really want to get into because we can have another podcast episode about divorce. Maybe we can find someone else in our community that also has been through that, and we can all chit chat and kind of talk about how we've done it done that while we were scrapbooking, but I needed to take a break. So I took a break. And honestly, coming back, I realized that one, my reason why had changed so much to I just wanted to be me. And it was the place that I could do that. But then finding other ways that I could be me, I didn't think I needed to scrapbook anymore. But then as time went on, like especially this past year, I've been dealing a lot with health stuff and my mental health has went boop. And my husband was like, dude, what's going on? He's like, like, where is this person? Like he was trying to motivate me and he was like, maybe you should start doing this. And so he just like encouraged me. But and I drive my heels because I don't like people telling me what to do. Especially probably because of the divorce, the stuff around it. This is like I just don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like rules. Like it is just so against me. Even though I know it's good for me and I know like all of this stuff, right? I could know all of that. But anyway, so as I've come back, I've realized that like I still want my reason why for me to be on a page, but I want to go back to the having fun, the learning, the playing. So one of the things that I've been incorporating, especially this week, is like real like bringing back a lot more mixed media because I absolutely love that. I love playing. It takes forever, which is kind of frustrating because there's a part of me that wants because I know I used to scrapbook like you every night. I put the kids to bed and I'd get in there and I'd get a layout or two layouts done in the evening and work on a process video. So I was like boom, boom, boom. I was getting the shit done. And which was great for my brain, I guess, but But as far as like living that outside life, I didn't have that. So like I'm still trying to figure out how to merge both together because it is difficult. And like now I work just like you. Like I don't, and my space has changed, like yours has changed. Like I share space now. I used to have my own space. Actually, I was in this room and it's now
Hmm.
become like almost
It's
like
a
a closet
closet.
space with my desk in it. Um
Yeah.
every once in a while I look in here because I have scrapbooky stuff and my Maggie Holmes, some of my Maggie Holmes in here, so I'll pull it out and be like, "Ooh, this is pretty." Uh but yeah, so I think a lot of my reason why is to just find a bit of myself differently. And want to keep that mentality about learning and growing and having fun. But I've really realized like how much of a difference it has made for me to do. Like I feel so much different mentally than I did before. Like my body, don't get me wrong. Like this week I've been doing a ton. And
Mhm.
I don't know if we'll have time to get to some of that today, but I've been doing a ton and I'm like today I needed sleep and I needed rest and now I'm like kicking myself. I was telling Kaden, I was like, I have all the stuff I want to do, but I needed to rest and so I could do the stuff I want to do, but now I don't know if I'll have time to do all the stuff that I wanted to do. It's like this conundrum. So
Yeah.
I know that balance is gonna have to get there, but like the one nice thing is that I'm just putting a couple of days in, and I know those are my days, and to protect those so I can protect my reason why. And because that helps me understand, um, like, and be able to think through my journey. So I'm not just so consumed with creating and pushing stuff out that I'm not
Mhm.
taking the time to reflect because I do think that that's important and I think that's something I wasn't doing before and I don't know if I was in the mental space to even do it back then um at all. But now it's like having like being able to take that time to think through like, okay, what am I doing? What do I want to do? What stuff is important for me to document? What stuff, you know, like how can I do this amongst having a work life, having, relationships and kids, like your kids, my kids are getting older. And so
Mhm.
it's like the things that we do are different, where like they used to be able to play in the room next to me, or when I was in the living room, they could play in the living room. And we were kind of, I could just get up and do whatever they needed help with. Where now, it's like I go off, or before I would go off in my own space and close the door. Of course, I would try to do
Yeah.
it when they went to bed. So, but like I did a lot of stuff during the day too. So don't get me, it's like my poor
Yeah.
kids. And I knew that. So it's like I knew that my focus like had gotten a little skewed. And I think that's kind of hard when you do what we do, right? As far as sharing
Mhm.
so much, it's really easy to get caught up in the grind of it because it becomes a job. And as much as it's a fun job, like you still have to, like, you can't do that all the time. So, uh-oh, hold up. My thing is, oh, okay. So we have a couple more minutes. So,
Okay.
so why don't you answer? We don't have to finish the other question for sure.
Okay.
We could kind of bring it into maybe the next time
Okay.
and think of something else that we want to talk about the next time we do our scrap chat. So, oh yeah,
Okay.
we have about a little bit more than 5 minutes. So I just want
Oh, okay.
so we do have more
Okay.
time than we probably think. So
Okay. What was the last question
So the
again?
last question is how does scrapbooking or art journally crafty stuff help you understand your own journey and defining your reason why?
Well, I just something that's kind of stuck out to me recently is that we all have like our creative brain and then we have like our I don't know, what's the other side of your brain called?
So
Like
the
that
right part and the left part, and I think what is it? The left part is the like crafty creative side.
and yeah, and the
I
people
believe so,
that
but don't like I could be wrong. I could be mixing it up.
No, I think you are right. And then people who are creative think more with like the left side of their brain, whereas people that are more, I think it's like logical or whatever, think with the right side of their brain or whatever. And it's just interesting. The more that I think with my creative brain, like, and I introduce that stuff into my life, I feel like the happier I am.
Hmm.
And so I guess like just in the last few weeks and this new year and everything, it's kind of helped me realize that I do want to bring that back into my life and focus. And I want to have that family time and everything and focus on family. I mean, we don't get the pictures to scrapbook if we don't spend the time with family, right? And
Yeah.
I kind of I feel like towards the end of my marriage, I kind of like I was taking photos, but it wasn't as family oriented. It wasn't as happy.
Yeah.
And now that I'm looking back on the last couple years, I was like, whoa, like I had more pictures of my dogs than I ever had before. I had more selfies because I was okay with myself, but still I wasn't happy. And so it's like I'm by myself more than spending time with family, which I mean that's fine, but at the same time like I really do want to get back to enjoying time with family and
Yeah.
focusing like okay, this is what I want to scrapbook. Yes, it's for me and my reason why is for me to
Yeah.
help me in my life and be that creative and everything, but it's also like there is a balance and like you've been talking about like trying to find that balance where you can bring that creative aspect back into your life and incorporate it with your family. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
like
think
I think that that is really important to me. I'm
that's,
noticing.
and it's good to like, and this is why I asked this question because I want you to think about it, but I also want
Mm-hmm.
all of us in the like, or the community, like I shouldn't say industry, the community to think about is like we should understand our reason why, and like and like you, I've pretty much always done it except for that first little bit why I started because I wanted to scrapbook like a particular thing, but then I realized real quick that it was not about that at all. It was all about me being creative and me
Mm-hmm.
taking the photos and the moments that I could, and especially because of a lot of my life circumstances back then. I needed to have those little micro moments, like looking really close at the small details because if I looked at the big picture, oh, it was super messy. And so like that helped me throughout my process because then I could take pictures of other things and it didn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
That I wasn't just taking photos of the whole family. Though I feel like for me, I didn't have as much of a problem with finding photos of my kids and stuff. Now, like as I've not scrapbooked, I don't have hardly any photos. Like when I stopped scrapbooking, I stopped taking photos almost
Yeah.
entirely. Like I would take a few photos maybe on holidays that I did not make sure I took nice photos. Like I wasn't being intentional at all. And it's so
Mm-hmm.
interesting, like when you kind of have to divorce scrapbooking for a second, because that's kind of what
Right.
I felt like is that I divorced scrapbooking, and now I'm coming, we're getting remarried again here. Um, but it's like going back to the reason why but now I'm being more intentional about like what kind of photos. Like I want to make sure I'm getting photos of the kids, like getting photos of everything because I was doing that before, but it became intuitive, but now it's not. So like when you stop doing that, it's like you really have to be intentional about how you go about doing it and it just takes that practice. Okay, so we're getting close on our time when we need to be done. So I
Okay.
don't know if you have a layout that you want to share, one of the last layouts that you did that you want to share, and maybe something you love about it. We have about 3 minutes left.
Do we? I didn't grab a layout, but
Okay.
I do actually
Or it
have
just
right
no, keep going.
on my so I have this, and this isn't I made this like a year ago. I don't know if you guys can see.
I can
It's just
so I think
it says be magical you,
uh-huh.
and I made
So fun.
this I made this right after, like, I had a really dark period last year where I hit rock bottom and it was not good. And my mom was really like supportive. And this is something I created because she told me to just have fun and just get in my scrapbooking room and just play. And this layout, even though it's not perfect, like it's one of my favorites.
Okay. Um, I can share real quick, but we have like 3 minutes left, so.
Okay.
So this is one of the last layouts that I did. I finished it last week, and so it's going to be posted this week. So by the time this goes up, it'll be posted. But I absolutely had so much fun. I recreated I scrap lifted it myself, and I took it was a one with a lot of media, and I just wanted to play with product, honestly. And I went overboard. I went overboard. I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I should have like scaled down. And so I had to like remind myself that, you know what, it doesn't matter. I had so much fun creating it and I had so much fun playing with the paint that like who cares if I overdid it? Like
Exactly.
of my life I overdo it. Anyway, okay. So I don't know if there's something that you are thinking that you want to talk about next time. Maybe we can transition into talking about work and scrapbooking and our time and balancing our time with our families. So like that balance of scrapbooking in our life with other things. Maybe we can find
Yeah,
somebody else also that would like to join us
I
and
think that's a great
have that
idea.
conversation. Somebody else who also works because that would be kind of fun to do. I know that's the station in our life that we're both in is working
Mhm.
and you
Yeah,
know and everything.
yeah.
So, with that, I'm gonna tune us off. Tune us off. That doesn't even make sense. I'm gonna sign us
Okay.
off
Yes,
for
sign us off.
today. I will make sure I have all the questions that we talked about, which was only just a few, but definitely share your layout, your some of your first original layouts. I want to hear your guys' reasons why and how it's changed. And I want you to start thinking about, and if you can answer, um, like that thought process of how that journey has changed and how you use it to kind of be that mirror and do that self-reflection. So,
Yeah.
thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
I continually keep having fun doing this, so I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited. I'm pretty sure you're excited, Megan.
I'm very excited. Yes.
So,
I'm having a lot of fun.
and we will talk to you guys next week and have a great scrappy week. Bye.